Hey, what up guys? Today I'm going to be going over the Elden Ring gameplay live stream from Game Informer today, so let's go ahead and get into it. And if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. He stated that this is the most hype he's ever been for a game after playing these 10 hours, so we are in for an absolute treat. Also, spoilers ahead, so just be careful. This is in no particular order, it's basically just in the order that he stated these things, so it might be a little bit all over the place, but there's just a lot of information to go over. Alright, so the tutorial boss name that you'll fight for the intro basically is going to be named Grafted Scion. You are intended to lose this fight, and it's kind of like one of those scripted death cutscene type deals. Game Informer said that it is very similar to the key boss, or like the key mini boss at the end of the network test in that little room that has a bunch of like arms and stuff. So it's similar to that one. Moving on, he stated that Limgrave is about 3 times the size of what was found in the actual network test, so there is even more Limgrave to discover and explore. There was also an area that he explored called Weeping Peninsula. Also, the classes within the build that the Game Informer played, the classes were Vagabond, Warrior, Hero, Bandit, Astrologer, Prophet, Samurai, Prisoner, Intelligencer, and Wretched, which is a deprived class. Also stated that spirits felt significantly weaker compared to the network test, and the game felt much harder compared to the test. Game Informer also met the Snow Witch from the trailer. It apparently gives you the ability to summon spirits. Also mentioned that there's tons of characters and story is a much bigger factor, and he met more people in the starting hours of the game than the entirety of the old games like Dark Souls 3. Also, you can skip Stormveil in its entirety to go to the next area, and the next area looks like a whole new biome, which is a magical academy. There's crystals, ocean monsters, water, turtle warriors, giant lobsters, and much more. Also, Moonlight Sword is in the game. He stated that Godric was also extremely hard, and it took him around 2 hours to find the pathway to the boss because of how big Stormveil actually was. He mentioned that there's a purple portal after the Lion Guardian, and it leads to the Divine Tower of Limgrave. It teleports you to what he assumed was a temple in the sky, and you needed 2 keys to enter the area, and he wasn't able to get both keys within the 10-hour time test. Okay, this is really exciting, but he mentioned that there is pot warriors that are enemies, so we will be seeing a lot more of Alexander, our beloved. He didn't use a lot of weapons throughout the game. He only used a weapon that drops from Stone Digger Troll, which is a giant club. He did mention that there was a desert area called the Badlands. After sitting at a certain bonfire or grace, he was transported by Milena to the Roundtable hub, and he stated it looks very Bloodborne-ish. There's a ton of NPCs in the hub. He stated the blacksmith is in the hub. Also, there was apparently a battle in the hub of some sort. He stated that the hub is not on the world map, and you need to teleport to it to get there. He mentioned he met a character called D, which actually went from the in-game world into his hub after meeting him, and with the D, he would mark things to explore on your map. He also stated that after killing Margit, he got a talisman slot, which is basically the equivalent of a ring. He also stated that Godric was a really hard boss because he has a lot of mix-ups, he has tons of different animations, tons of different attacks to do, and he's really hard for just being the first core boss of the game. There is also an open field boss that was in a new area that involved a boat, and he would use his boat to crash into the player, which unleashed undead waves at the player, and he would summon skeleton minions. He also dropped a skeleton militia summon. He also mentioned that he ended up getting a jellyfish spirit summon that poisoned enemies. This is also a bit of a spoiler, like a bit more of a spoiler, so just be careful. You can like skip a little bit ahead if you want. So there was bears in the network test, but he got chased by the bears in a similar area or in that same area, and he got chased into an elevator. So he went down the elevator ride was extremely long, And the area he went into had like a purple skylight, like the whole area was really like a whole new biome almost. He said that the area was called the Internal City, and upon going there, Bandai Namco did say to leave, so I don't know what that's all about, but it's probably some secret stuff. He stated that Godric dropped both a piece of the rune and also a resemblance of Godric, which I believe is going to function as a boss soul, basically. He also stated that although the biomes and areas change quite drastically in terms of theme, he didn't really feel like the transition was too harsh. He actually felt like it transitioned quite seamlessly. He did mention that there are these seeds that you can get from certain enemies, and he stated that you could technically go and just explore all the portions of the world, finding these enemies with these seeds, and upgrade your SS Flask a ton of times to go ahead and take on like Godric or something. So there's other ways to alleviate the difficulty of the game if you did want to do that. He did state that there was gifts when he was playing, and he chose the one that is a stone key. Apparently in the tutorial cave, that first grace that you get, there's a little imp statue shortly next to it, and you can use the stone key on those imp statues similar to like a Pharaoh's Lockstone to unlock areas that are kind of like secret. He did mention that there is paintings that you can actually find throughout the world and pick up, although he didn't quite figure out what the purpose was, but they have something to do with the spirit of the artist. Also, if you remember the network test, there was those golems that were like sleeping on the ground, or like they were like laying on the ground, and they dropped some upgrade fragments. There is bow variations of those. If you remember from Dark Souls 1 with Calamy, you like have an NPC that shoots him down with like a great arrow or like a great bow. It kind of looks similar to that, but just a big golem kind of statue looking thing that is like 10 times the size. He also mentioned that the story cutscene that you see at the beginning of every like Dark Souls type game is actually different from the story trailer that's on YouTube, for example. Also, map fragments are shown on the map, even if you don't have any other map fragments, so you're not going to be just searching aimlessly for these. He mentioned that the Badlands is a scorching sands kind of desert area with a blood red sun, and he said it was incredibly dangerous. That's about all for the info. There's probably more I could go into, but I don't want to make this too long. But long story short, we should all be hyped for this game. I think it's going to deliver on the promise, and I do not think we are going to be disappointed. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want to see more content like this, and I hope you guys did enjoy.